7 years ago, I took a huge gamble on myself and I decided to leave my job to pursue my dream of becoming a full-time photographer. Over the years, I made many mistakes, but now that I'm on the other side, I see them as lessons learned. So here I am, sharing those lessons with everyone. Whether you're a hobbyist or a full-timer, there is always room to grow, and there is nothing wrong with making mistakes, only with not learning anything from them. My name is Regina, and this is the Probably Editing Podcast. What's up, guys? My name is Regina Blancas. Thank you so much for tuning in again to the Probably Editing Podcast. Today, I want to talk a little bit about what it is that I do right now, this time of year in September, when I'm not really shooting a lot, but I'm also in the middle of my busy booking season, and what I'm going to be doing to prepare for when it is my busy season. So for those of you who don't know, I just specialize in senior portraits. I do shoot with families and I shoot engagements and stuff like that, but I don't really market myself as it. I just have clients that I've worked with in the past that come back, or just people who like my work and want me to do that kind of style photography. But pretty much 95% of the year is spent on senior portraits. So a lot of people might hear that and think that I'm a very seasonal, like that my work is very seasonal. And I do have seniors year round because I work with both high school and college seniors. And so, for college students, there's the fall and spring semesters, but there's also grads who graduate in the summer. And for my high school seniors that are really involved in like band and stuff like that, shooting in the late summer is when, they're the least busy before they go into like their crazy time, their senior year as well. So for me, senior portraits are year round. It is September 18th though. And around this time of the year, I am pretty much booking every day at least one or two people every day. Every day I am doing consultation calls. Every day I'm getting emails, questions to like chat with me about my packages and stuff like that. This is the time of year where I'm not actually out shooting. I'm not on the field shooting or anything like that. I'm not like at home like knee deep in editing and stuff like that. I'm not doing that part of the photography just yet. I'm doing more of like the back end stuff. A lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of sending invoices, lots of time on Honeybook, lots of time just booking right now. Okay. So in 2 weeks is when my first like heavy week of shooting starts. And then from that week forward, basically the first week of October, through right now, March, it's nonstop, 3 to 4 shoots a week, nonstop. And so let's talk about what it is that I do right now to prepare for that time of year. So we all know that when we're busy, we are busy. When there's like no in between for photographers, I feel like it's all or nothing. We're either like super chill, like every day we're just doing whatever we want, or we're like knee deep 5 albums that we have lined up for editing. I mean, we're just like going, right? We're stacked. Our workload is stacked. So I have a list here. The first thing that I like to do right now, and I just did it yesterday, I like to go through all of my gear, every single thing down to the batteries, the camera body, the lenses, the light stands, the lights themselves, everything. I basically bring it all out, lay it all out, and I clean the exterior of it. I get a lot of sweat on there. A lot of my clients do like to pop champagne bottles for their senior portraits, and so I have like a lot of champagne on stuff. I try my best to wipe it down as it happens, but sometimes it just you pick up something and it's like, oh, it's sticky. It's champagne. So I like to lay everything out, look at it, check it out, and I just kind of wipe everything down, myself. I do, though, like to send in my camera body and my lenses to a local shop here in Austin called Precision Camera, and I have them clean it for me. They do a good job of deep cleaning it. I don't really like to mess at all with the sensor. I have the little poof ball thing, but I'm like, you know what, just just do it for me. Just out of safety myself. I'm just a clumsy person sometimes. So I like to clean my gear. Number one, I like to lay everything out, physically wipe it down, clear the memory cards, format the memory cards, make sure that the light bulbs on the flashes are good, make sure that the umbrellas are good, that they're wiped down and clean. My light stands, like the cameras, get a lot of champagne on them, and or I leave them in the back of my truck so they get rained out a lot, and it gets a little rusty, so I clean them out thoroughly, do a little bit of WD-40 on it so it's not so hard to bring out and stuff like that. I just basically make sure that all my gear is clean, that it's presentable, and that it's good to go, ready to go. And that's the time when I will sometimes find that, I accidentally, scratched this part of whatever, or, you know what, this light bulb sounds a little rattly. Let's go ahead and buy a new one. My umbrellas, I do tend to buy once a year. I use them a lot. I use off-camera flash for pretty much every single shoot, and I just use them a lot. And so I do probably replace them once a year. But that's the time right now, in that in-between time, right now that I'm in that time where it's like, I'm not quite shooting. I am a little busy as far as the back end work, but nowhere near as busy as what I'm going to be in about a month from now. I'm going to go ahead and take the time to make sure all my gear is clean and ready to go and good. And if I notice that anything needs to be replaced or purchased again, whatever, I have the time to order it so it arrives on time. So that's number one. Number two, I check that all my light stands, umbrellas, everything is in working order. So I will take, for example, my trigger, put it on my camera and just shoot, make sure everything's good. Last year I realized that my trigger, no matter how many brand new batteries I would put in it, it would still say that it was low battery. It was an old trigger. It was time to buy a new one. So I run through the trigger. I run through my camera settings themselves. I use the flash a bit. Just everything that has like a use that's not just like a light stand and stuff like that will get run through a little bit to make sure that it's in working order. I have in the past, in the very early stages of my journey, I had situations where I would go, months without shooting, and I would just think I had to just charge my camera, and then I would show up the day of the shoot and realize that something's up. Sometimes my camera would be laggy or something, and I'm like, ooh, and so I avoid that now. Just avoid that by taking the time to check everything when you have time. Just run through everything, click things a couple times, trigger the flash a couple times. Just make sure that everything is in working order. There's nothing to lose from doing that. You can never be overly prepared. You can never be overly prepared, and it's just the best way for you to arrive to your shoot confidently, knowing that everything is in working order. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, clean my iMac. So I use an iMac for my editing. I have a laptop and I have an iMac. My laptop I use when I have to edit, but I have to travel somewhere, or whatever. I have my laptop to work off of. So it applies to my laptop too, but more so for my iMac. My iMac is my beast, my workhorse. It is where I do all the heavy lifting with. That's my baby. So I take my computer to the Apple store and I have them clean the vent. I run clean my Mac, I think it's called clean my Mac on my computer pretty much daily almost, because it pops up every day. And I just make sure that I'm deleting old files, deleting old photos, just cleaning away the things that might create lagginess, that might take up room, might take up space. I just clean out the trash can. I clean my computer so that it can run and operate smooth like butter. Okay, you want to make sure everything's running smoothly, especially because we're using such huge programs like Lightroom and Photoshop, and sometimes I'll have Lightroom and Photoshop and like YouTube playing at the same time. So I need to make sure that my computer is clean to withstand all of that. So I clean out my computer. I take it to the Apple store. You don't have to do that. I do that just because for some reason, I guess there's a lot of dust in my house. Even though I clean and change the filters on my vents, I just accumulate a lot of dust on my computer. I don't know why. And I even have filters, but whatever. I take it to the Apple store and so they can clean it out, and it has helped tremendously. But honestly, just having a program like Clean My Mac, let me double check that that's what it's called. Yeah, it's called Clean My Mac. It's like $100 a year, but it cleans everything for you. It shows you when you have programs that could be deleted because you haven't opened them in forever. It cleans everything out. And same thing with your Photoshop. Make sure that the cache, I don't know how you say it. I don't know if it's cache or cache, but just clean that out so that everything just operates smoothly within Photoshop. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 4. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. I think would help a lot of people. Okay, so if you are in this time, if you find yourself in a time like this where I'm at right now, where you have more time to do stuff, right? I cannot encourage you enough to take a couple hours, if you can, a day, and go to the spots that you know you're going to be shooting at. So for me, I shoot at the same 4 schools: UT Austin, UT San Antonio, Texas State University, and Baylor. All right. And St. Edwards and stuff like that. But I go to the ones where I know I'm going to be at the most, and I'm going to go and record B-roll. All right. B-roll is when you're doing a reel on Instagram or a video on TikTok or for YouTube, whatever. B-roll is those shots, those little recording shots of 4 or 5 seconds, not even, sometimes they're shorter than that, of random spots that you're going to fill in with your video. I cannot recommend you enough for you to take some time when you have time and go record as much B-roll as you possibly can. Get videos of you at that location and just record yourself in that location. Get videos of a certain spot that you know you're going to pose a client at. Take videos of you walking to that spot, of you driving to that spot, of you maybe just set up if you like me, set up your light stand or something. So you just you have B-roll of you setting up your light stand at that spot. You just want to get as much content as you can, because there is nothing more frustrating than you being so busy you forget to take behind the scenes videos. And so now here you are, knee deep in the busy season. You're getting a lot of engagement because people are tagging you in stuff. They're commenting on you. They're looking you up, blah, blah, blah. And you have all these beautiful photos that you took, and that's it. You only have photos of the end product. People love to see the journey to that end product, but it's hard to do sometimes. It's, you have to take the time to record and to remember to record. And so I cannot recommend you enough to take some time when you have time and just record as much B-roll as you can. Clean out your phone, make some room in your phone, just record. Even things that you don't think are worthy of being recording, like the drive there. For example, getting out of my truck, I'll set up my stand with my iPhone, and I'll record me getting out of my truck, unloading my gear and putting it into my cart. Boom. You never know how you will use it, but now you know what? You'll have 30, 40 videos of B-roll. Select them all, put them in a folder in your phone, and when the time comes that you have a video at said location, well, now you have some B-roll to create a video on site. It just is so game changer. It's so easy to do. You just have to go and do it. And you basically want to go with the pretending okay, I'm going to go do a shoot, and just do everything that you would do if you were to do a shoot, minus, of course, working with a client, right? And just record stuff. Record you getting your gear out. Record you setting up your camera. Record the scenery of a certain location. Record what it looks like during golden hour. I mean, just there's so many things that you could do. And when you have the time, just do it. Just do it. So that when you get busy, you don't have the excuse of I don't have anything to post to make a reel. No, you have a whole folder now of B-roll. It's awesome. And then, of course, on the day of the shoot, try to remember to do behind the scenes videos. So for me, I have a little Insta360 camera that I just have a little magnet attaches to my shirt. Boom. I ask my clients, hey, is it cool if I get some behind the scenes? And they love it. They always say yes, honestly. And I'll record it. But now I have videos from behind the scenes before we shot. And then the day of the shoot is just, that's how you get content. Content is just, it can sound so scary and overwhelming, but I have found that it's just recording random mundane stuff. People care about it, and it just makes it interesting. I used to just post the end product, my photo, right? And that of course gets engagement and it gets people interested and stuff like that. But like the process there is always so much more fun for people and makes you so much more relatable, and just it kind of like humanizes the process, makes it seem so less scary. So just B-roll, get B-roll. That's number 4. Number 5. All right. So this one is one that really, really helped me out too. So, and I'm going to make a whole episode about this because I think it's something that I struggled with a lot. So when I first went full time with my photography business and I started getting knee deep into my busy season. For me, knee deep busy season is like 2 weeks before graduation. So like the week of and the week after Thanksgiving break for students. Don't count on me for anything. I barely have enough time to like take a shower. Like, like I'm so swamped every minute of every day. I'm like, it's dedicated to something. And so I made the mistake of, I would go like a whole day without eating. And then I would go to my shoot, walk. Like I have a watch that I record my steps with, and my average shoot is about a 2 to 3 mile walk. Like we walk a lot because these are huge college campuses, especially when you're at UT Austin. Oh my God, that school is huge. I walk anywhere between 2 to 3 miles per shoot. And so if I go all day without eating and then I get in my car after this long shoot and it's like 8 p.m., I am starving. And so my mistake, the first like year or two really of my business, I would make the mistake of picking up drive-thru. And drive-thru would not be healthy. It would be like Whataburger or Chick-fil-A or Sonic or, whatever. It was just junk food, sodas and fries and burgers. And I gained a lot of weight over those first 2 years. And it was just because I wasn't preparing my food. So now what I do, number one, now working out is a non-negotiable. Okay. Non-negotiable, even a walk. Like I have to be outside. That's number 1. But number 2, something that you could do that I recommend to minimize all those going out to eat moments, because it also adds up financially, right? I go to Costco now or Sam's and I get myself a box or 2 of like protein bars or like trail mix or something that is not so egregiously unhealthy. That's easy for me to just reach over and grab and snack on. That's not super unhealthy and that can also withstand being in my car. Because if I get like chocolate bars or something, like protein bars, it's going to melt. So I get a lot of like trail mix, dried cranberries, things like that, like lots of nuts and stuff like that, to keep in my car. And that honestly has helped me a lot because now, I don't go a whole day without eating. Like, I'll eat breakfast and stuff. And after my shoot, if I am hungry, I reach over and grab a little snack, but I go home and I cook my food. And now I'm not spending money that I don't need to be spending. I'm not prolonging the drive home by stopping somewhere. And I'm also not feeling crappy on the drive home from eating somewhere so unhealthy. So, getting snacks in your car that, are there for you for those moments was really, really helped me out a lot. And a part 2 of that answer is cleaning my car itself. So I have 3 dogs, one of which is a Great Pyrenees. If you have a Great Pyrenees, you know what I'm about to tell you. Like, I know that you already know what I'm about to tell you and that you are like already like, yes, I agree and I understand. If you don't know, Great Pyrenees shed like buckets of hair every single day. I love Lana. I love my dog. I love her with all my heart. I actually rescued her. When I used to work at H-E-B before I went full time, the day Hurricane Harvey was set to make landfall in Texas, somebody tied her up and left her there at the front of the store and then called the information center and was like, we're not coming back. And I didn't know about it for several hours until one of my coworkers was like, hey, did you hear about that dog? And I was like, what dog? And she was like, somebody came and left her and tied her and just left. And I was like, what? And I didn't allow myself to go see her because I just knew I was like, I'm going to keep her. But I the day went by and I was like, I have to make sure she's okay. And long story short, basically kept her, and now she's with me forever. But anyways, that's Lana. She's my Great Pyrenees baby, but she sheds a lot of hair. And I take my dogs out almost daily to go swimming in creeks and play and stuff. And so my car gets really dirty just naturally. So when it's like that, and on top of it, I'm not cleaning it because I don't have the time, because I'm so busy editing and stuff like that and traveling to and from shoots, my car will be an absolute disaster, like an absolute disaster. And it drives my anxiety up. It makes me feel so dirty. Like, I don't like it. I don't like feeling like that. I'm very much the kind of person that like dirtiness will just spike up my anxiety. And if I am anxious, I have to clean. Like, cleaning will be my therapy. So I just avoid that altogether. I try to eliminate any and all anxieties and stressors that I know will be triggering to me when I'm busy. And for me, that's my car. I use my car a lot. I travel a lot, and I'm in it a lot. And so I'm not going to keep it dirty. So I do a deep detailing clean before the busy season starts. And I stock it up with snacks, and I'm good to go. I have my gear checked out. I make everything. I know that everything that's going in my truck, all my gears, all my light stands, all my lights, everything that's going to be stored in my truck is in running order. It's running smoothly. I have everything prepared and organized in my car. I have my camera good to go. All the memory cards are formatted. All the batteries are charged. I have backup batteries. I have backup light bulbs. I have my umbrellas. I mean, I have everything ready to go. If you do that when it's the time of the year when you're not quite so busy and you have time to do so, and you have B-roll in your phone ready to go, it just makes it such an enjoyable, more manageable busy season. Because I can't even imagine what it's like to do senior portraits and weddings. Weddings and senior portraits coincide. That's what I always tell people, is like when they're telling me like, oh, I need to book a hairstylist. I'm like, don't wait. As soon as you get off the phone with me after you book, go ahead and call a hairstylist and a makeup artist, because their schedule it coincides with wedding season, senior portraits, it's everything, engagements, everything. So, it just doing these 5 things will really help you have such a smoother start to your busy season. And you're confident in knowing that everything's in running order. You're prepared, you're organized, you have backups of batteries and stuff ready to go. One other thing that I'm going to be doing this semester that I have the things, I just never made it like a thing. So let me explain. So, I have had scenarios where my clients, even though I tell them a bazillion times to try on their outfits, they won't, or they decided to order something last minute and it just arrived that morning and they haven't had a chance to try it on. They try it on and it works and it fits, but there's like a button or two that doesn't close. So I have pins for that. I have safety pins, bobby pins. I have like tape. I have like little clips. I have hairspray, bug spray, just little things, kind of like an emergency kit kind of thing for scenarios like that. And I have them in my car and I've used them in the past, but like I'm going to get like a little tiny box and have it with me and bring it with me on my shoot, like in my backpack. And it's there if I need it to be, but now it's organized and prepared. So use your time wisely when you're not booking. I used to make the mistake of just charging my camera and thinking, okay, I'm good to go. But no, like take the time to prepare yourself. In the last episode, I talked about how if you're shooting somewhere new, you can take the time to walk the new location beforehand. Not the day of the shoot, but like maybe a day or two beforehand, or earlier, honestly, would be better. Walk a new location so that you are prepared on what it looks like. You can scope out new locations to shoot at. You can see what the sunset looks like during the time that you're going to be shooting at, or sunrise, whatever time you're going to be shooting at. You know what the parking situation is like. Sometimes the Google images are not what it looks like in real time. Sometimes there's construction. There's so many scenarios that could happen. So you want to just be as prepared as possible from the get-go, off the bat, from behind the scenes to during the shoot, your car, your food, your gear. Just be prepared. Use your time wisely, and it will make for such a smoother experience and eliminate that crazy stress that can come with the busy season. All right? Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Probably Editing Podcast. My name is Regina Blancas. Will you please do me a favor and subscribe or like or comment, whatever? And I would really love to hear back from you guys. I want to hear what questions you guys have so that I can make episodes on that. Be as detailed as possible. Throw them at me. I will help you out and make a whole episode about it so that you can have the answers to them. And hopefully it'll help you in your photography business journey. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.